My cherry chocolate chip cookies made from cake mix recipe is going to be amazing. With just a few ingredients, you can make a batch of delicious cookies that are also going to be very colorful. Here in this bowl, I have one 15.25 ounce box of white cake mix, along with one 3-ounce box of cherry gelatin. I am using the bright red cherry gelatin, not the dark cherry or black cherry gelatin. To make the cookies, I'm going to need half a cup of canola oil or some other vegetable oil, 1 cup of chocolate chips. I am using semi-sweet, and I put about 1/4 of a cup off to the side. I'll show you why later. 2 large eggs, room temperature, and 1 teaspoon of almond extract. I also have some red food coloring, not sure if I'll need it. Like I said, these cherry chocolate chip cookies are super easy. All you have to do is empty the cake mix into a bowl. And then empty in the gelatin. Honestly, I think you could use the dark sweet cherry gelatin if you wanted, but I think that this color will probably be more of a bright red. I'm going to add in 3/4 of a cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips, my 2 eggs, 1 teaspoon of almond extract. Almond extract is in a lot of baked recipes with cherries. It helps to bring out the cherry flavor. And the half a cup of vegetable oil. And now all I'm going to do is start stirring. And I'm going to see what the color looks like. If it's not red enough for me, then I'll just go ahead and add some red food coloring. When you're making cake mix cookies, you have to be careful not to overmix them. They are forgiving, but if you overmix them, the texture will be a bit off. So that's why I'm not mixing them fully, just trying to get an idea of the color. A lot of people would like that, but I want something a little bit darker red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think it's going to take about 10 drops.
Even though the batter has raw eggs, I tasted it, and honestly, I think it needs a little bit more cherry flavor. Going off of what I did for my strawberry cake mix cookies recipe, I'm going to add some freeze-dried cherries in powder form. I have a 1.5 ounce bag of freeze-dried cherries, and I put the freeze-dried cherries into a plastic bag, and I took my rolling pin and crushed them into a powder. I think this is just what the recipe needs.
I am going to chill this cookie dough for about 30 minutes, and then I'm going to start baking. Like I said, I still have a little over 1/4 cup of the chocolate chips off to the side. That's because sometimes when you make chocolate chip cookies or anything with chocolate chip, the cookies get lost in the batter. So when you make cookies, leave some of the chips off to the side so you can put them on the top. That way they won't all be lost in the batter. My cherry chocolate chip cake mix cookie dough has been chilling for half an hour, so now it's time to start making cookies. My oven is preheating to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I have a 1 tablespoon measuring spoon. I'm going to scoop out maybe between 1.5 and 2 tablespoons. And I'm just going to place the cookie dough onto my cookie sheet. Technically pizza pan, but I'm using it as a cookie sheet. I'm thinking these cookies are going to bake at 350 for 10 minutes, but of course I will let you know. And before they go into the oven, I'm going to take some of my extra chocolate chips and just put them on the top. Because like I said earlier, sometimes with chocolate chip things, the chocolate chips themselves get lost in the batter. But this way, you can have some on the top. And there will be no question as to what type of cookies these are. My cherry chocolate chip cookies just came out of the oven. They were in at 350 for 10 minutes. As you can see, they're definitely done around the side, but here in the middle, they look a bit underdone. That's exactly what you want. If they kind of bake together, just take your knife where they've come together while spreading apart and just cut them like that when they're still warm. Not a big deal. Now I'm going to let my cookies sit on the cookie sheet for 5 minutes to harden up a little bit. Then I'm going to transfer them to a cool cookie sheet to cool completely. My cherry chocolate chip cookies are now done. The recipe made 20 cookies. As you can see, they have an amazing color. You can see all of the chocolate chips. These look absolutely incredible. Very, very beautiful. This one looks like it's falling apart, so let's rip it apart. You can see lots of cookies inside, or lots of chocolate chips. These cookies are going to be amazing.
When I took the first bite, I realized that my cherry chocolate chip cookies made from cake mix recipe was a big success. I share these with a lot of people and everyone agreed that they were really good. Although they definitely did have some cherry flavor, I honestly felt like the chocolate chips dominated, so next time I'll probably use fewer chocolate chips. Maybe a quarter of a cup less. Also, honestly, I think that adding the freeze-dried cherries in powder form is what saved this recipe because otherwise there would not have been much cherry flavor. Whenever you invent recipes, sometimes you have to change them as you go along if you want them to turn out well. If you are looking for an easy cherry cookie recipe and you like cherry and chocolate together, definitely give this recipe a try. It's super easy and I know you'll like it. As always, thanks for watching.